to me, what I think was one of the greatest movies of all time. You got served. I saw You Got Served in the theater at Ontario Mills.
It was crumb dancing.
The AMC in Ontario Mills.
Oh,
they was bucking in the
Hey, that is the worst movie theater in the world.
They were bucking. they were bucking on the aisles. Yeah. Crump dancing on the aisles. No fights, but they were out of their seats, battle dancing. The movie's on.
Yeah.
It's dark. Why are you dancing? They're dancing on the stairs.
It's lit.
Welcome to Tone Deaf, a conversation podcast. Because I just be talking. And today, I'm going to be talking with my guy, the man. Please say the Sessions.
The legend.
Sessions, the legend. Mike Session, everybody. Mike Sessions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm going to input like some fake. I want to get like maybe an iPad with like a laugh track and hook it up to that and then have a couple sounds that I want to play for whatever. Because that would have been a nice time to cue like kids cheering.
You can do post-production shit. That's what I do. Until I get that equipment.
But I feel like it'd be more authentic if I have it there and I'm like, wow.
Oh, like you get just press buttons.
Like with the hit pad. I found there's a website that actually has the Bodega Boys, some of their
the soundboard. Need those, man.
But I want to make my own soundboard.
Right.
So maybe I'll like record Lance saying something crazy and then I'll like edit it or whatever.
I'm gonna stop doing the air horns. It's too reminiscent of Joe Budden's podcast. But the air horns,
that is, hard. Or the gunshots.
Yeah, but it's so hard, man.
I'm over here spilling. Okay, today we are talking about whether or not Baby Boy is a classic film, amongst other black films. A couple of things we're going to get into is what actually constitutes a black film and what makes a film a classic. And I have sitting next to me, arguably the greatest Baby Boy defender. If he was to wear a cape, the back of the cape would be a picture of the DVD. A Baby Boy.
A picture of the DVD is hilarious.
Of the DVD of Baby Boy.
Not a VHS.
So we're going to get into a couple of those things. So tell me, Mike, why is Baby Boy a classic?
All right, so, we were talking off mic. They don't... If it's a classic movie, you're going to see it on TV all the time. You know what I mean? You have your gripes with BET. Obviously, BET is
I don't have any beef with BET.
BET is not the damn, content.
This is not the upper echelon of film conversation. Is not happening on BET. That's probably my only argument.
But they play that movie like 30 times a day.
They do. They play it regularly. You would think it was an original series.
They play Baby Boy. They play Friday. They play what's another movie? I think they play The Color Purple too. It's a food movie.
Now I feel a way about Friday that I don't quite feel about Baby Boy, but we'll get into that. But continue.
But think about it. All right, so it's a John Singleton movie.
Yes.
Right. And John Singleton.
Rest in peace to the GOAT.
Rest in peace to John Singleton. So in that era, from the 90s to the early 2000s, John Singleton wasn't really missing at all with a lot of the movies he was releasing. And that movie actually was written for Tupac.
Yes.
Tupac Shakur was supposed to be Jody.
I'm arguably more of a fan of the road in which it took to get the film done and the stories behind the actual filming of it than I am the actual film. Because it's fascinating the way that what they had to go through to get the movie done.
Think about all the different topics and the different themes that they touched on in that movie. They touched on a lot of different things.
They did.
You know what I mean? Like the new boyfriend, stepdad dude, a young dude in the hood, balancing the life of having two baby mamas, and you know what I mean, and trying to figure his life out, being coddled, you would say.
Because he wasn't the only. He had a brother, right?
He had a brother. His brother died. His brother was killed.
So which character did what's his name play?
Who? P?
Yeah.
That was his best friend.
That was his friend. Okay.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. So technically, at that point, he's an only child, so that would
Mhm.
explain why they would be so tight.
At that point, yeah, he lost his brother. Cause remember he made that whole comment to his mom was like, "You gonna put me out like you did my brother?" And
You gonna put me?
yo, but that movie touched on so many like triggering points with like black trauma. But that's what I was also talking about on the other stuff. But was, black trauma is sold a lot in black art, but it's real. It's real stuff. You know what I mean?
I am more welcoming to black trauma when it's a black director
Mhm.
doing it.
Doing it right.
I'm tired of I don't I it, you don't see black directors talking about life in
Right.
Wyoming.
Right. They should though. It would be cool if they did.
Now, I'm not saying that they shouldn't have the license to do it, and that's another conversation to get in is what type of film are people making. But
Right.
when you see movies that are talking about black people,
Mm-hmm.
it's just interesting that the majority of stories that are having to do with black people
Right.
are not written or told by black people.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing that switch now to where now it's becoming more of a norm. But
Right.
you have a movie like Color Purple
Mm-hmm.
where a Jewish director did it. And again, not that you can't be well read and knowledgeable about a thing, but as an aspiring filmmaker, the types of stories that I like to tell are stories that I can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't relate to life as a lesbian black woman. Like I don't know that story.
Right. It'll be weird for you.
So
to tell that story.
yeah, and not that I couldn't do the study, not that I couldn't follow someone, not that I couldn't do all the research in the world. But why not get a lesbian black woman to tell that story? Like why not?
And that's what I'm saying. The reason why I say that, because a lot of times black movies are typecasted.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's like we're limited to slave movies and movies about the hood.
Yes.
Or just some type of or the loud black person that's serving in a white movie as like comic relief. You know what I mean? And
yes.
I mean I'm pretty sure there's a black dude somewhere in Wyoming right now. You know what I mean? So it's like,
but nobody wants to hear the story about the black guy in Wyoming.
But that's a problem. That's what I'm saying. We should be able to like do more sci-fi movies.
I think the problem is drama is the easiest thing to sell on. I mean, literally drama and comedy. That's why whenever you see the masks that are represented,
I don't know the greatest
represented in like stage plays is you have the mask that's smiling and the mask that's frowning, because I think to us the two most relatable things are comedy and drama.
But think about this.
And there's plenty of drama in.
But the greatest movies to ever, the highest selling movies of all time are all like sci-fi movies. You know what I mean? Like Avengers, Avatar, Star Wars, and
Because I think there's a balance of wanting to get out of reality.
Of course.
But you don't often get to have us telling those stories. We got that with Ryan Coogler, and look what happened. $1 billion.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we got the sci-fi story with a 95% black cast, written by a black person, directed by a black person. You had black people dealing with the what do you call it? The hair and makeup. You have black people dealing with the wardrobe. It was a black movie that wasn't a black movie.
Let me also tell you why Baby Boy is one like this. The way Rodney.
Yes.
The way he kicked over his fort. You can't say that wasn't black excellence, bro. You know what I mean? The way he got up off the couch. Morning scrub.
Oh, hell no. I know he ain't come to my house.
Yo, that is black, man. That is art. That's a masterpiece.
His perm was masterful.
I'll say this. There is a such thing as, because Baby Boy, I will agree with people that it's not the most, the best acted movie, I would say. You know what I mean? Like,
we're not coming to Baby Boy for Academy Award winning acting.
Taraji did amazing in that movie, though. And even Tyrese.
And Tyrese tried. He tried. He did try. He always tries.
But there is a such thing, and I'm a firm believer in this. and I agree with this with Pootie Tang too. Some movies are just so bad that they're good.
I wouldn't quite put this in that category though.
No. Well, Pootie Tang was not. That was
Yeah,
meant to
I,
be
I
like
wouldn't
just,
put Baby Boy in like this is so bad that it has a cult
no,
following.
but Baby
you know?
Boy was one of those that it was like the parts that was supposed to be very serious was ended up being very.
They ended up
funny.
being kind of funny. So I
Yeah.
do wonder. It makes me wonder what would that movie have been like had we been able to have Tupac do it. Would Tupac? Because I wonder like the scenes in which Tyrese almost becomes like a caricature to us. I wonder if we would have done that to Pac. Like, would we have taken Pac more serious?
Hell yeah, for sure. Right, because Pac actually, that was his thing. Pac
He was a thespian.
Yeah, Pac did film. Like he went to the School of Arts and stuff like that. Like that's like any role that you ever saw Pac do, you can't say like, oh man, that was like, I don't really like the way he did that. Like Pac really put a lot of passion to his acting.
He put passion into everything.
Yeah.
We've had our talks about Pac as a rapper too.
Oh my god.
And despite what no, seriously, despite what we feel, I think one thing that neither of us can deny is that he gave 100% of himself, which I think adds to his status. Is that literally everything, every emotion he had, he wore it on his sleeve. It was right there in front of you.
You're gonna feel it in some type.
He
of
didn't
way.
hide any. He didn't hide anything about how he was feeling.
You're gonna feel it in some type of way. You may not like his lyrical ability, but whatever. That's a whole different discussion. But as far as him playing Jody, I think that we probably would have got a better. I think we would have took the movie more serious. Because I think Pac would have had that raw emotion that's needed for us to take it more seriously. Tyrese, him trying to be like super serious and he out there crying and shit like that, like it just looked funny.
And
because it was just like, what are you doing?
And then an opening scene when he's like like in the embryo or something like that.
That's black art. That is a dog. I'm telling you, bro. The moment I saw old boy in the floating, he looked crazy. I said, I'm sold.
I mean, I understand what they were trying to achieve from an artistic level. It's just like
amazing,
this idea is that this guy, this baby, essentially, who is essentially having to undergo some type of rebirth. In which he realizes that I can't be this anymore. I gotta grow up, and coming up from under his mom's wings, I think is what signified in him being in the womb in the beginning. In that, I can't depend on my mom anymore. It's time to cut the umbilical cord. I gotta become my own man, and that seemed to be what was being depicted in that. This guy has to find out who he is,
and also think about how big of a role Melvin played. Ving Rhames, like. How big of a role. He didn't really have a father figure in his life. And then the dude that probably was going to help him the most, he tried to kind of put him, push him away. But, I don't know. That story is just super relatable. I can understand why people will say that, that movie is ass, but
I didn't even say ass. I just said
it's a classic movie,
I just said not a classic.
It is definitely
okay, so let's talk about that. What makes a movie a classic? Outside, I know you mentioned replay value and that it gets heavily replayed.
I think impact on the culture.
I'll buy that.
You don't think Baby Boy was impactful?
It does have an impact. I don't know if it's the same type of impact like all around.
No, I mean
like some of the impact is the humor in it that we were reminded of.
Because
it's a similar impact of Friday, even though I think Friday was a little bit more impactful.
Friday was a way more.
No. What I mean is, the type of impact is similar.
Okay.
In that it's telling a type of story that people can resonate with. I mean, the story of Jody is not a story that's dissimilar from what a lot of people deal with. So it's a story that people can get with. It's just maybe here or there the writing and acting didn't quite live up.
It was the acting. I think the writing and everything was great. It was the acting. That's all it was. Because I'm saying, like, if you take away Tyrese might have been the reason.
Is he the weak link?
Tyrese might have been the reason why people don't consider that movie.
Is Tyrese the weak link of Baby Boy?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, Taraji did her damn thing, man. She did her thing in there. What was her name? I don't want to get her name wrong. Is it the moms. I don't want to get her name. I think her name's AJ, but she did.
Yeah,
amazing.
I can't remember her name. And
I forgot her last name, but everybody, even P. You know what I mean? Like everybody did a damn good job of that. Oh, and Snoop, and Tyrese were the main reason.
Well, Snoop. I think the funny thing about Snoop is Snoop got to play Snoop.
But Snoop was
it was believable.
It was funny though because
True.
like he was like the way he stood up, he had that tank top on, he was mad skinny.
He was very skinny.
You know, he was bony, kicking over forts. You know, he over there like, you know.
The first scene was it the first time we're introduced to him was when he's on the phone in the.
Is
what?
This Jody?
Is this
like it just sounds
the one that can't
funny.
take care of his?
Yeah.
Her name is AJ Johnson. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I was thinking of old boy from I Got the Hookup.
Yeah, AJ Johnson played Juanita, and Ving Rhames played Mel.
Yeah, man.
Angel Conwell played his baby mama. Didn't he have a baby? Yeah, right.
AJ.
Who's the other girl?
You said Angel Conwell?
Yeah.
No, that was P's girlfriend.
Kim?
Yeah. That was P's girlfriend. You bought me all these new clothes in the video game? Dog, that is a classic. What are you talking about?
Wait, didn't he have a girl though that was like trying like that he almost went back with and cheated on Taraji's character? Like, wasn't there a side?
No, he had another baby mama.
That's who. That's who.
He had a son
okay.
with Yvette, and he had a daughter with the other chick.
Okay, so let's talk about John Singleton for a second because I'm reading because I had to check him out, and his it sucks that we wait until people die before we really start talking about them. But
oh man,
Poetic Justice,
classic.
3 episodes of Snowfall, an episode of Billions, an episode from American Crime Story, Versace, the assassination of Gianni Versace. He did one of those episodes. He did an episode of Empire. He did an ESPN 30 for 30. He did Four Brothers, a movie I love. He did
Tyrese again.
He did Too Fast, Too Furious. Tyrese.
Again.
He did Shaft.
Mm-hmm.
He did Higher Learning.
Classic.
Michael Jackson's Dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Poetic Justice.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jackson's Remember the Time.
Mm-hmm.
Boys in the Hood.
Classic.
That's a quality damn.
He did something else.
Lineup. I'm sure he's done other things. This is just in his directorial. He has even more in his that he was a producer on. Which goes even longer.
I forgot what else.
He was a producer on Hustle and Flow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was a producer on Black Snake Moan.
Oh, that movie was great.
Yeah. So yeah, he's had quite the. It's funny because it almost seems like his, and this is a part about his career that resonates with me. And again, there's a part of his career that I just can't. There's no way I can reach that because he went to USC Film School. Mm-hmm. It's kind of the same thing with Ryan Coogler, which is why it's hard to talk about. Like, I love what Ryan Coogler is doing, and it's fantastic that every shot that he's gotten, he's pretty much knocked it out of the park. Sure. But he went to USC Film School and then got connected with Forrest Whitaker, who helped him get Fruitvale Station off the ground, which then helped him be able to do Creed.
Wait, Ryan Coogler went to USC Film School?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you was talking about John Singleton.
They both did.
Damn, that's crazy.
I'm drawing the correlation.
That's crazy.
To the difference when you're trying to do this, when you're like Barry Jenkins and you don't have the film school backing. Because when you do go to, like, it's the thing of school in general. And I think me and you agree. Me and Mike both went to Cal State San Bernardino. Mm-hmm. And I think both of us would be critical of probably what we did in school from a scholastic standpoint. Like, we probably didn't need the schooling to get where we are professionally. And probably, I don't know about you, but I should have been like an engineer or something like that, and I'd be making like 6 figures. But I think one thing that both of us will agree to is that
the film program
there were trash. No, I didn't even know they had one.
That was my major.
Oh, damn.
I went to school for TV and video production. I learned all of that.
Hey, shout out to Cal State San Bernardino. I'm forever a yote.
Wasting my damn money. That's what
No,
it
but
was.
this is what I will say. This is why I can't say that it's a waste
Yeah.
because most of the connections that I have,
Oh yeah, for sure.
most of the friends that I have right now, most of the people from a professional standpoint that I will talk to, most of the people who I will reach out for recommendations, they all went to that school. So that's my segue to say, from a film school standpoint, you may not learn anything from your film school, but you can say you went to USC Film School. Ryan Coogler roomed with
That's crazy.
Ludwig Göransson. It was a roommate. Ludwig has worked on. He has worked with Childish Gambino. He has worked with Kendrick Lamar. He did the score for Tenet.
Different. Roomies, buddies. We shared the same bathroom, man.
He's worked with Hans Zimmer, probably one of the greatest
if not
film
the
composers ever.
If
Like,
not
and
the
again,
greatest.
he's great. Both of them are great. I am not trying to say that they are not great, but they had the perfect mix of the talent and the opportunity. So that's where I can't.
Yeah,
I can't. No, the only thing I'm saying, that's where I can't connect with. Who were we talking about?
I mean, look,
Of John Singleton. But what I can connect with him in is because there's a similar story with this that was with doing Boys in the Hood. And he talks about his pursuit in trying to get Ice Cube on board and how Ice Cube like ignored him multiple times.
Right.
Who's this guy coming to me with this? You know, so I respect the grind of saying I have this fantastic story about people just like you that I want to tell, but I only want you to do it. You're the guy that I know can do it. I just need you to believe in me enough to say, okay, I'll do it. And fast forward to now, I don't know if Ice Cube has the career that he has if he doesn't have Boys in the Hood first. I don't think he has the cred to then do Friday.
I mean,
if he doesn't do Boys in the Hood.
No, he even
now,
said
maybe
that.
he could. Maybe
he said that though.
I mean, maybe he does a little bit in that he is Ice Cube, so he does have some type of pull.
But he said
but
that, though.
It adds to it that he had that in his resume.
Singleton named the whole movie after a song Ice Cube wrote. You know what I mean? So it's like, but Ice Cube, he's admitted that.
Yeah.
Like his experience on the set of Boys in the Hood allowed him it gave him the push, or I guess the confidence to write a Friday, which is arguably a top 10 black movie of all time.
Shout out to F. Gary. Another, which is gonna provide my next segue as soon as we finish this this thought. But
so, well, I was gonna say about like the whole USC Film School, like you got to even look at people like who did it without it, like Issa Rae. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. Those are more of the directors that I can connect with. I can connect with Ava DuVernay, who was I don't remember what she said, but she was working until she was like 30, and it's like, man, I'm about to turn. I don't know when this is gonna drop, but I turned 32 on September 27th. So
I was about to say it in my head too.
So I'm a late bloomer to this. So it's great to see, like, when you find out that people like Samuel Jackson didn't really make it until he was older, and people like, Ava didn't make it until she was older, and people like Issa had to grind and do it again
on YouTube.
I'm not trying to pit anybody against each other. Shout out to Coogler, shout out to Issa Rae.
Yeah.
Honestly, right now, if like my personal Mount Rushmore, this is just me, just from a standpoint of who I have so far tried to emulate the way that I'm doing things. It's Issa Rae.
Mm-hmm.
It's Coogler. It's
Jordan Peele, huh?
You know what? Because I was struggling with who my fourth one was going to be, so I will throw Jordan Peele in there. But it was going to be Donald Glover,
the GOAT. That man
because
does everything.
what he did with Atlanta, what Issa did with Insecure, what Peele did with not even so much Get Out, more with Us, with Us, and then what Coogler did with Black Panther. Those are four. Let me not even say let me not even say Black Panther. Let me say more like what he did with Creed and Fruitvale Station.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Fruitvale Station is a little bit more about black trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Like Creed, even though it has an element of blackness to it, it's
Black Panther had black trauma.
that's why I didn't want to go to. No, the reason why I didn't say Black Panther is because Black Panther is it's big.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean is like Atlanta is a story about regular people.
Mm-hmm.
Insecure is a story about
Regular people.
You and I know a million people. Like I'm
Yeah,
sure we
for
can
sure.
name people that we went to college with that are like every single character on Insecure. That is like every single character on Atlanta.
Nah.
That is like Creed in the way that it's told. And then when you look at a movie like Us, it's a movie that it's a regular black family.
Mm-hmm.
But the situations that they're going through aren't necessarily completely black.
Right.
It just happens to star black people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's showing that, yo, we are normal. We really are regular. We put our pants on one leg at a time, just like everybody else. Now, obviously, there's some things about us that are different culturally. That's every culture. But every story of ours don't have to be about the single black woman struggling with 5 kids. It don't have to be about the guy who was in jail and has to rehabilitate himself. It doesn't have to be a slave movie. It doesn't have to be a slave movie. It doesn't have to be a gangster movie. It doesn't have to be a crooked cop movie.
I'm tired of
it can be a kid. It can be a guy. It can be a guy trying to take care of his daughter, trying to reconcile things with his baby mama.
Mm-hmm.
It could be about a woman who is college educated and trying to figure out what the hell to do with her life. Like
there's a movie like that. What was that?
That's
movie?
Issa. They're just regular people who are they're educated black people trying to figure out how to make it in LA. That's what the story is about.
Did you like Think Like a Man?
Shout out to is that Tyler?
Shout out who?
That's not Tyler Perry. Who does Think Like a Man?
That was I know Steve Harvey wrote the book.
Yeah, I know it's based off of that.
What the hell? Wait, I'm tripping. Why can't I think of the top of my head right now?
This is when you put
Think
up.
Like a Man.
This is when in post I'm gonna put up the title of the film superimposed over us because my memory is always shot when it comes like that.
It might have been Tyler Perry ass. Who knows?
But even Think Like a Man. I. This is not a criticism of the movie, but just the type of story. It's just about black people trying to find love, which is normal.
That movie was ass, man.
I'm not talking about whether the movie is good or not. What I'm talking about is what is the movie trying to talk about? It's trying to talk about relationships and how you deal with them. Everybody deal with relationships.
I mean, of course.
You can tell stories with us in it that don't have to be uniquely about our struggles.
No, I agree with that. I'm totally welcome to that.
And that's why those 4 are on my Mount Rushmore, because they've done it in creative ways in telling stories about us that does not put us in. They don't have us out there looking crazy.
She just announced season 5 too.
Issa,
Mm-hmm.
good for her. I hope that goes 20 seasons.
Yeah. That's a whole different discussion.
Whenever Donald gets ready to giving us season 3 of Atlanta, we are waiting, my guy.
I need to be on Insecure, man. Remember you told me that I had that story that I wrote? You said this is supposed to be Insecure.
Mike Sessions. And we got to move on, but Mike Sessions is a fantastic writer. I will say this.
I appreciate it.
Well, I can't really critique writing because I'm not great at writing. So I don't even know if he's a great writer. What he is, what I can say is that he is, and I guess this goes to writing. He is fantastic when it comes to telling a story. Mike has a story that he's written, a book that he's written.
Just sitting in my phone.
And he wrote this book like 5 or 6 years ago, before there was an Insecure. Before there was an Atlanta, about regular black people dealing with regular problems, centered around some characters that we won't name.
Shit, me.
But it did center around him.
Yeah.
And after reading the story 5 years ago, the first thing that popped into my mind was, when I read this is very visual.
Mm-hmm. Easy to direct.
Oh shit! This is a series.
Yeah, a YouTube series.
He had it written into 5 chapters. And I thought, There's a season.
Right. And I was trying to go for 10.
No, yeah, you had 10. So sorry, he had 10 chapters.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, that's a season.
Yeah.
Every chapter is an episode.
That's 10 weeks.
All right, man. Let me fix it. Let me get to it.
Hey,
we
first of all,
do it. Let me
I
get
do
to
not
it.
sound
Let me
like
get
that.
to it. Let me get to it. Let me get to it. And it didn't. And again, obviously, all of us said, you know, I'm not knocking him. I'm teasing him, but
In my
I
phone,
still want to do that project, and we still might.
We can still do it.
And we still might. Rona threw a wrench into everybody's plans, so that kind of messed up everything. But it still might be a thing.
So you
But
said
it's the type of stories about us that I would rather do. You know, stories that can travel. Again, obviously there is an element of black culture of us that I love and I do not want to water down. But there's a way that you can tell a story about us without making us look crazy.
making us look goofy. No, I got you. But enough of me.
Which is what I will say, and this will be my last tip of the cap to Singleton, is I feel like he's always done that. Is I feel like everything that he's always done about us has always felt authentic. I've never, even Baby Boy, as comical as it can be, I know a Jody.
That's classic.
I know a Jody.
You don't think it's classic?
I understand I understand your definition of a classic. It wouldn't meet my definition, but I get it.
Literally see this movie every day. Every day.
I wish we didn't see it every day.
They still teasing Baby Boy too.
I don't think it should happen. I think it should stop the way it is.
No.
I think it should stop the way it is.
I think it should be about their son. The rise of JoJo.
I'm tired of sequels and I'm tired of sequels and redos and
that would be hard.
Tell a new story.
And they got like a nice house, but then like the son still ain't shit.
Did
like,
you see that there's a TV show called LA's Finest, I think?
I think I heard about that.
Which is with Gabrielle Union and I think Jessica Alba.
Is Gabrielle Union playing like a stuck up manager?
No. They're both cops.
I'm tired of cops.
And what she's playing is it's a bad boy spinoff. Because in the preview she says, I think somebody's like, I didn't know you knew how to use a gun or something like that, and she says Marcus taught me.
Okay.
And it's like, we don't got no news stories, but I get it. I understand how Hollywood wants to try to bet on what they think a sure thing is, but
what'd you honestly think of that live version of Lion King? Hey, man. It
is amazing. It is amazing what we can do from a technology standpoint. I just think what made the original Lion King work. It's hard with animals.
It's the animation.
It's hard with animals because you can't emote with a realistic lion the way you can emote with a cartoon lion. Now it works better when we're talking about humans redoing this because you can get those human reactions still. Right. You can't get those reactions. But I get it because Jungle Book was a hit. And I think they thought, but again, you had a real person.
Yeah, but even the animals in that movie, like it still felt really cool. True. You know what I mean? Like Lion King was so animated. And
I think it got so real that it lost the character that the
They said it was National Geographic with a soundtrack.
It was. It was.
That movie was terrible. I'm hearing Mulan is terrible too, but that's another subject.
I've actually heard it was good. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not spending $30. I'll wait for Disney Plus to.
I'm waiting for Black Widow. I'll spend $30 on that.
Well, they're still trying to figure out whether or not they want to do a theatrical release with it.
Man, don't just release that on Disney Plus.
I think they should because like Tenet is not doing very good right now in the theaters. But I think they should have known that. They should have just dropped it on some streaming. They should have done the same thing. Just dropped it on some streaming platform and just have people pay for it.
What was that other question you had? What constitutes a black film? Like what makes a film a black film?
I was gonna get to that. I don't even remember. You said something that was supposed to be my segue, and I forgot what my segue was. Well, this is my segue. So we talked about what we thought a classic film was, but so we intro with Baby Boy, but I didn't want to just talk about Baby Boy. I wanted to talk about black films in general. So we'll get into what constitutes a black film, but what no, let's do that. Two mic sessions. What is a black film?
Mm. I think for one, it has to target the black audience, um, and well, not necessarily just strictly target them, but it has to be uh, somewhat tangible for us to be able to grasp
It has to speak to the black experience.
in a way.
Yeah.
In a way, but
Not
no.
not it may not have to, but we should be able to relate to it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that goes back to what I was saying about the I hope that black people do more because yeah because even in like black sci-fi movies and stuff like that, it's
Yeah.
like black people are not limited to just like you said like hood movies and slave movies and stuff like that. There are a lot of black people that love sci-fi things, a lot of black nerds, there are a
Yeah.
lot of black this and that. So I
Well,
would say
Black Panther was a good example of
right.
how we were able to infuse black culture and
Mhm.
black mannerisms and black phrases.
With Disney.
Hey auntie, different things like that
Yeah,
into
even it being like
into a Disney film.
in Oakland.
By the way, I cannot believe that the Disney logo is on an album that has a song called Paramedic.
Yeah.
I love the song, by the way.
Mhm.
But that song does not scream Disney.
They greenlighted that.
But
one.
but that's another story. Shout out to Disney, I guess, for just letting them do their thing. But anyways, I digress.
I will say that for one, it has to either have a black. I think off top, it has to have a black director.
It has to have a
and
black director.
It has to have a majority black cast, and and it has to have a black writer.
I was gonna say, I agree with you. I was gonna make an argument for why it doesn't need to have a black director, but I feel like I feel like it needs to.
Because
For sure, a writer. It has to have a black writer,
yeah, for sure.
and of course, it has to be black people in it.
Yeah,
But I think it does need to have a black director too.
but I do think it has to be tangible for black people. You know what I mean? Like, it can't be one of those movies that come out into the theaters and mostly white people went to go see it. I'm trying to think of a movie that was like that. That was like
Well, I think just given the demographic of the country, it's like music. I think white people are always going to be
no, for sure.
the biggest, but we have to go out and see it. It has to be a movie that we want to go out and see.
It has to be a movie that we put behind us. For us, like we're even with music, like because we create a lot of these different mediums. We are the creators.
We
of a lot
create
of this.
most of the
like
of
what
the
I mean?
prominent artistic mediums,
Like so.
or at least influence.
So, but
Most of
for us, the biggest thing for us is culture. It's culture, because that's pretty much all we really have in terms of being in this country. It's like we hold tight to the films and the music and the different traditions that we
Expression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it has to be something that we really hold to us. Like we set it off, to us. We hold Friday and Poetic Justice and Higher Learning and New Jack City, Paid in Full. Like different movies that are black cinema classics that we can call ours.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Even Black Panther.
Yeah, we own that. We owned Black Panther.
Yeah. We hold that near to us.
I went to the theater. I think it was I saw it like 5 times in the movies. 5 times.
That's crazy.
Shout out to my guy, Chadwick.
Rest in peace.
Crazy. I went to see that movie 5 times. The second time I went to go see it, and I actually said this is not a joke. The first time I went with the family, but I had to go back again, just me. So so I went back again.
Oh.
Walked up to the booth. I had a Black Panther shirt on.
Oh God.
I had some fake. Sometimes I put on my fake glasses to make me seem like I'm an intellectual when I'm not. Walked up to the counter. Yes, sir. What type of which movie would you like to see? And I looked the lady in the eye and I said, "Lady, you know exactly why I'm here." I didn't say lady. I just said, "You know exactly why I'm here. You you know why I'm here. Black Panther just dropped yesterday. You know why I'm here. I have this shirt on. I'm black as hell. Give me the ticket for Black Panther, please."
Nigga just walked up. You know why I'm here.
No, she
Let's
asked
just cut to
first.
the chase.
She asked first. What movie?
Don't even ask me.
What movie would you like to see?
I don't even know why
Come
you
on.
asked me.
She laughed. I mean, she because I but you know what I was here to see. So I went to see that clearly. That was our movie. And when I went, there was like groups of people that were like there were like dashikis.
Yeah, they were doing
we were all out. But what I am thankful for, at least in the theaters that I was in, is that we was in there behaving.
That was like one of the big story things where it was like
We was doing good.
like the Black Panther release, and you didn't hear about no theater
When nobody's shooting nobody,
like,
nobody
no
fight.
fights,
I
none of that.
saw, to me, what I think was one of the greatest movies of all time. You got served. I saw You Got Served in the theater at Ontario Mills.
It was crumb dancing.
The AMC in Ontario Mills.
Oh,
they was
God.
they was bucking in the
Hey, that is the worst movie theater in the world.
They were bucking.
By the way.
They were bucking on the aisles.
Yeah.
Crump dancing on the aisles. No fights, but they were out of their seats, battle dancing. The movie's on.
Yeah,
it's dark. Why you're dancing? They're dancing on the stairs.
it's lit. It's lit.
That was the.
What'd you expect people to do? Honestly?
That was the greatest and worst film experience in my life.
What do you, that I wouldn't even. I don't even see how that's a negative. You know what the people came to do. You can't make that type of movie and put it in the theaters and think people ain't about to show up with their dancing shoes.
You got served.
They came out with their headbands on.
That's where you wore the headband.
The throwback jerseys.
The baggy throwback jersey with the baggy jeans. You had to have jeans.
Too?
I don't know if they were doing backwards jerseys, but I wouldn't be shocked. I think they were doing backwards jerseys back then. 2004. That was 2004. Were we doing backwards jerseys in 2004? I think we were.
2000s was the most terrible.
That's when you wore a do-rag, and you had a headband, and you had a fitted cap.
The 2000s we gotta pretend
with
that whole time
with
period.
4X t-shirts with something airbrushed on them.
With the exception of Confessions, we gotta pretend the 2000s didn't happen.
No, the 2000s are great. The 2000s.
Oh my god.
Are a dark but necessary time. We had to go.
Wait, so you went for You Got Served? Did you go for Stump the Yard?
I did go to Stump the Yard. I went to the theater.
Was it the same outcome? Was people dancing in there?
No, Stump the Yard wasn't crazy. And I went to the movie theater in San Bernardino. That one off of it's the one in downtown San Bernardino. That one that's like.
Oh, you talking about the one over there off of I think it's off of East Street.
I think so.
Yeah, it's over there by the Carousel Mall.
I went to that one. And no ruckus.
I actually like that movie theater more than Ontario.
It was no ruckus there. No drama there.
I don't know why I like that movie theater.
No drama.
But yeah. That's terrible though. I might have been out there dancing when Stump the Yard came out. Actually, I
no drama.
Sure thought I was part of that squad.
Hey,
Theta.
So wait, You Got Served. It's a black film.
Definitely a black film.
Yeah, Chris Stokes.
What?
Chris Stokes directed that.
No, but that movie, like you can
It's a black movie.
You can look at the theatrical poster and know that's a black film.
But sometimes it be white people behind that, and they just put us on the forefront because they want to.
But You
They want to capitalize off it.
Served was a horrible movie. If we talking about Baby Boy, I ain't gonna let y'all look. And they say that You Got Served is a classic. People say that, and you know they do. You probably have said that before, and we gonna say, look, that movie was terrible.
No, again,
Worse
okay.
than Baby Boy,
so,
for sure.
But I think one of the things that goes to classic, which is why I understand your stance on Baby Boy, is doesn't necessarily have to do with whether or not the movie was good, but it has to do a lot of times with its impact and its following.
Impact and just what it means to black people.
Yeah.
Like, black people still watch that movie.
Okay, so do this for me then. Tell me your top five black films.
Oh man, I don't know why I felt like that question was gonna come, and I'm still not prepared. Let me see. You gotta. Oh well, Baby Boy. That's one.
That's number one.
No wait, all right. All right. So like, just favorite films, or do I feel like it's the best film? Because if it's talking about like personal favorite,
let's avoid controversy and you just give me your favorite. Favorite is less controversial than just best. Because I can't really argue with what your favorite movies are.
It would have to be Baby Boy in no particular order.
You know what you're gonna do? I know what you're gonna
It's gonna
do.
be West Coast bias.
I know what you're gonna do, and then I'm gonna call it out, but it's gonna be a thing that I wasn't thinking about either, and we're gonna figure out why. But go ahead.
Mm. Friday. You gotta throw Friday in there.
Mm-hmm.
Some can make the argument next Friday was funnier, but Friday. Um,
We'll just throw the whole franchise in there. The Friday franchise. It's okay.
I didn't really care about Friday after
Friday
next.
after next.
It was cool, but I didn't really care about that movie. Damn, bro, there's so many. Set It Off.
Mm-hmm.
I love Higher Learning, man. But I don't know if it's 5. I'm gonna have to say, I don't know. I don't know.
What is that 4 for you?
Well, I said Baby
Baby
Boy,
Boy.
Friday, Set It Off.
Set it off. Higher learning.
I'll throw Higher Learning in there, and one more. I'm missing something. I'm gonna be mad because I'm totally overlooked it. You gonna say it, huh?
I think you're missing a lot,
Oh yeah.
but they were movies that, because I have a list that I kind of had looked up before,
Mm-hmm.
and these particular movies before I looked at the list didn't come to my mind, but I don't know why exactly. But let's see what your last one is.
The Pursuit of Happiness is not a black movie, is it?
I don't know who directed that.
See, if it is,
That's that is one of Mike's favorite movies.
The Pursuit of Happiness is so fucking good. Like, man, that's a easy for me. That's a top 3 Will Smith movie.
We'll give it. Let's see.
What do you mean? Yeah, who directed that? I see a lot of caucasity going on.
Gabriel
over there.
Mercino.
It's not a black movie.
Mercino.
It's not a black movie, but I'm gonna just say it anyway.
Pursuit of Happiness. Okay.
Yeah, I'm missing something, man. I'm missing a bunch.
How come no Spike Lee movies are in your top 5?
I wasn't too big on Spike Lee movies. You gonna kick me? You gonna kick me out now?
No. When I was first thinking of mine, because I thought about this earlier today, I was thinking about what questions I would ask. One of the questions I was going to ask,
but that's the
was
thing.
who like the top 5 movies, top 5 favorite movies, and for whatever reason,
Paid in Full. Actually, I'll take it back.
everything about Spike Lee movies is all black because he writes them and he directs them, and it be black people in them.
I was gonna say Paid in Full. I'll switch Pursuit of
Paid in
Happiness.
Full?
Paid in Full. Yeah.
I'll give you that.
But yeah, as far as like New York centered movies, I wasn't always like it almost kind of go with the music. I wasn't really too big of New York type stuff because the West Coast is just so different. I was just raised on West Coast stuff.
Okay, let me give you mine.
Yeah, please do.
I'm not gonna go in order. I'm just gonna give you my 5.
He gonna say Get Out.
No, I actually don't really have anything like made in like the last 5 years that's in this list.
Okay.
You forgot one?
Higher Learning.
Go ahead.
Higher Learning.
Go ahead.
The Wood. Oh my God. The Wood. The Wood.
That was-
I don't even know why. Yeah. The Wood.
The Wood's in mine.
Yeah.
The Wood is in mine because I identify greatly with that movie because
that movie is hilarious. Bro.
When I moved to the IE, because I went to school for 2 years in Riverside, where me, my cousin, this was when in the 3rd grade. I was in the 3rd grade. She was in the 2nd grade. There was this other black kid in the 5th grade. We were the only 3 black people in the whole school in Riverside.
Right.
And then went to school 3 miles over into Fontana, where it's just all black and Latino culture, crazy culture shock.
Right.
We just went from all white to all black and brown for the most part. But I got injected into a different culture,
right?
Because they're not doing that with the white kids. So I felt like the new kid moving into a new space and then having to figure out quick where I am, but having met people who to this day I'm still cool with.
Right. That was me.
Like I got guys that I met in the 5th grade to this day still love.
I don't even know nobody from before high school. I don't remember nobody.
Shout out to my guy Byron, my guy Derek, my guy Mike.
You talking
All
about
love.
me, Mike, was
No,
another
no,
Mike.
well, no, you're cool, but this guy, his name was Mike Fakata,
You're cool, but
and we had a little, but I was the cornball.
yeah.
Like you know, with a Christian worldview, coming from this all white school for a couple years.
Mm.
I didn't curse until I knew them, until I met them.
Oh damn.
So I got introduced into a lot of this stuff, but I was always kind of like that guy. But anyways,
They introduced you to cussing.
yeah,
That's nuts. What grade was this?
5th grade. That's the first time I ever cursed. Was in the 5th grade.
Holy shit. What's your top 5, man?
The Wood.
The Wood.
I think now that I rethink it, I think I have 2 Spike Lee movies in there. I think he got game is in there. Can I put that one in? No, I'm not gonna put it into my top 5.
Do the right thing.
I was gonna try to squeeze Malcolm X in, but Malcolm X isn't in my top 5 favorite. It is what I think in his top 5 movies, but not in my favorite. When I say favorite, I'm thinking like
Movies that you will watch.
it's on the TV. You're stopping what you're doing to watch it.
Pootie Tang, for sure. Man. I love Pootie Tang, man. Y'all gonna respect Pootie Tang and Chris Rock.
Okay. Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Friday, The Wood. He got game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put Creed in there.
Really? That came out within the last.
I know. I lied. I lied a few minutes ago. I'm gonna put Creed in there,
Creed.
and I'll explain why.
What did it for you? Him running up the stairs.
Who did Brown Sugar?
Who
I don't
directed it?
care. Brown Sugar. Brown Sugar's in my top 5.
Love Jones is better than Brown Sugar though.
I disagree. So to me, like Love Jones, Brown Sugar, Love and Basketball are the same movie. They're the same movie.
No, they not.
They're the same movie. They're the same movie.
Love and Basketball is not the same as them.
Love and Basketball and Love and even more than Love Jones, Love and Basketball and Brown Sugar are the exact same movie.
You probably like Just Right with Common and Queen Latifah too.
No, not really. But what I mean is you had 2 people. Because didn't they both grow up with each other in both movies?
Mm-hmm.
They knew each other for a long time, and you can juxtapose their love for basketball in Love and Basketball or music with them with each other. Those were always the competing things. Is they're trying to pursue careers in basketball or in music while also trying to pursue each other and trying to fit each other in it. It's just you switch out basketball for music, and it's the same movie.
He wasn't climbing in the window when his parents was arguing like he was.
Well, I think the difference with
Don't you wish you had that in like high school?
I was a square, so
You
women
can walk over the roof, little thing.
women weren't checking for me like that when I was in high school.
Knock on a window. Hey, open that up.
But the thing about Brown Sugar is Brown Sugar took place when they were older. So Brown Sugar would be like Love and Basketball was what they were doing when they were younger, and then Brown Sugar is them as older professionals.
The Best Man is still better than all of those.
I disagree, but
well,
Brown Sugar is gonna round it.
Love and Basketball is better than all of those.
Brown Sugar is gonna round on my 5. Here is why Creed is in my top 5. I love the Rocky franchise. Absolutely love them. Except no, I don't. Well, up until 4, I love Rocky. I don't mess with 5 and whatever came after that. I joke with my uncles who are really big boxing fans. Mm-hmm. They like huge into boxing. I joke with them by bringing up Rocky when they're talking about boxing, like actual boxing, and they hate it because it's fake.
Right.
But I have an uncle, my Uncle Keith, and
we all
hates
Uncle Keith, man.
Yeah. Keith is a that's a black name. I'm gonna say it's a black
Uncle
name.
Uncle Keith and Uncle Jerome.
Keith. I don't have an Uncle Jerome.
I got Uncle Jerome.
but Jerome sounds like that's the uncle that you have. That doesn't sound,
And he looks like Uncle Jerome.
Exactly. So he's not a fan of Creed 2 and 3. Why is he not a fan of Creed 2 and 3? Because in his words, ain't no way some out of shape Italian guy whipping no black people. So but what I like that they do in 3 is Apollo Creed trains Rocky. So this is when they get to become friends. Is he trains Rocky. He brings Rocky to LA because in 3, Rocky is glitz and glamour. He's made all the money. Clubber Lang is now Rocky. Clubber Lang is who Rocky was in Rocky 1. He's the underdog, the one that's I don't need the cameras, the lights, I don't need this fancy equipment. I'm just out here grinding. I don't even have a big team. It's just me. And I'm whooping everybody who comes in front of me. All I need is a shot. But Clubber Lang is black. He's us. So he's louder. He's more boisterous.
You know, I've never seen any of the Rocky movies.
You should.
None of them.
So
Not
I'm
even
gonna
Creed.
so this is my synopsis.
Creed 2.
Creed 1, Apollo Creed decides that it's a good idea to give some young up and coming fighter a shot. He picks Rocky. Rocky at this point is struggling. This is the break that he needs. They end up fighting. It's a draw. So they fight and they ended up being it's a tie. So that's it. That's the end of Rocky 1. Rocky 2 starts with the two of them in the hospital because both of them beat the crap out of each other. Rocky's good because now Rocky's getting some. He's getting some pub now. He's starting to get some change, but he's struggling with the idea of I still want to fight, but Adrian, his wife, doesn't want him to fight anymore.
Right.
But he's like, I gotta fight. I can't do anything else. He's like illiterate. He doesn't really know much else but fighting. Apollo is dealing with people saying that he lost or that he ducked the fight. So now he has to deal with his honor being, destroyed. And then so they fight again in 2, and then Rocky beats Creed.
I'm gonna try to watch these
in
movies,
Rocky 2.
But...
Rocky 3 starts with a montage of Rocky's rise to the top. Now Rocky's the man. Creed has retired at this point. Rocky is the guy now. And he's got a mansion and he's got like a robot in his house and he's like the man now. But he's getting soft. The money's getting to him. The success is getting to him. And his trainer, Mickey, is trying to show him that. This young, hungry guy, Clubber Lang, whoops the crap out of him in the first fight. I mean, he knocks him out in like the first couple rounds. Apollo Creed comes to him. Like this dark meeting in like this dark gym. And he's like, I can get you back there. I know why you lost. When we fought, you had the eye of the tiger. When you fought him, that it wasn't there. You got to get that back. So he brings him to LA and is having him train in the gym with all bruz. And the first thing he does, he walks in there with this nice black suit. His lady has this nice dress. His brother-in-law Paulie is all suited up. You get in here and it's all these bruz in there, mean mugging them, sweat in there, just getting it. And then one of the things that Creed says, he says, you see the look in their eyes? You got to have that look. And that was kind of like us getting the peek into Creed's side of this. So I had always wanted to know, what is Rocky like from Creed's side? Because that's us. I see they were looking at Creed in the movie as if he was like some loud, boisterous guy, which he was. Right. But for us, okay, we all got uncles like that. That's loud and boisterous. Hell, I'm loud and boisterous.
I gotta watch these movies.
I'm dangerous. He says that in the movie. Yeah, he's dangerous. I'm dangerous.
Dangerous.
Apollo, he's all the show, but we're used to the show. We're used to the flamboyance because this is the way that we can. That's
the way we communicate.
That's the way we can get that out. We need to, this is us. So to fast forward and have Ryan Coogler tell his story of basically his Rocky movie, but from Apollo Creed's son, who was played by Michael B. Jordan,
right,
and Tessa Thompson. I forget her name, her character in the movie, but basically she plays his Adrian, the woman who is like his strength and his rock, and the one who pushes him in the same way that Adrian pushed Rocky. Okay. So it was almost an exact retelling, but from from us,
Mm-hmm.
which is goes to our point at the beginning is that, you know, you can tell movies. You can
Yeah.
tell movies that are about us, but movies that translate to other people. This is not just a thing that we deal with. Everybody deals with this, you know.
Right. I'm about to
But
check it out.
it was our story. But you got to watch 1, 2, 3, 4, skip 5, and whatever else came out, and then just jump to Creed.
He put Creed in his top 5. Must be a damn good movie.
That's a new, and it's not even. See, honestly, with all these top 5s, none of them would be in my top 5.
If you were speaking like objectively.
Yeah, yeah, but they're more about how they impacted me.
Okay.
Because The Wood's not a great movie.
Yeah, it is.
It's not a great movie.
It is.
Why
How is it not?
I know why you're saying it is. You're saying it is because it tugs
the
on.
writing was great. The acting was great. Like
it tugs.
It did what it was supposed to do.
It tells our story.
It did what it was supposed
and
to do.
It checks our boxes, which is why it's in my top 5.
Stacy?
That's why it's in my top 5.
It's just the acting is like it carries over so well.
Listen, people know I don't like to cuss, but I have to repeat this line. It's my favorite line in the movie when he's robbing the store.
Yeah.
And they say who they were. They'll say my name. He's like, where y'all on the way to? And they said we on the way to the dance. And he was like, nigga, remember them motherfucking dances?
Yo, that movie is great, man.
He's robbing a store and reminiscing on junior high school dances.
I'm telling you.
He's like, he's like, why don't y'all go ahead and get something? There's the least I could do for you.
Because the writing was so good. I don't know.
Did you ever see the movie Dope?
I thought that movie was overrated.
I thought it was a good movie.
It was cool, but
I didn't think it was overrated because I didn't think people rated it at all. I never really heard it talked about. Like
one of the best movies that come out in such a long time, and I was like, I didn't peep.
But check this: in the movie, his character, I forget his name, the actor, plays in that movie, and his name is Stacy.
No, I remember.
And I knew that had to be because that movie also takes place in Inglewood.
Yeah.
So I'm like, they did that on purpose. So this is literally Stacy grown up. Now he's a security guard at the local high school.
Lakeith Stanfield was in that movie.
He was
playing the blood.
He was.
That's hilarious, though.
Stacy was a blood.
But I know because Inglewood's primarily bloods. Yeah. But like Lakeith Stanfield, when you really go back, he's in a lot of movies, like random.
Hey, Lakeith is a great actor.
He is.
We gotta start giving these guys their flowers.
No, for sure, he's amazing. Do you think that you have to be somewhat a little off to be a good actor or a good artist? Like somewhat like a little.
No, but what I think needs to happen, and this is the unfortunate.
This is not like me saying that about Lakeith. I'm just saying like for actors.
No, he is a little
in general.
But what I think has to happen. No, let me not say this. It doesn't have to happen. What I think helps is trauma, unfortunately. And like we're seeing that lived out in the biggest way with that guy whose name I'm not even going to name. Oh. That guy married to that lady from that famous family. I'm not even going to say his name. But what I will say is if we're just talking pure music, I mean, we could really make an argument that he might be one of the greatest musical artists ever. I mean, he's a literal genius.
Without a doubt.
And what we are capitalizing on is his trauma. His trauma is what adds to his genius.
Who put up a tweet like that? I think it was SZA. Like somebody was saying like to her like, I'm sorry that you feel like this about yourself. She's like, no need to be sorry. Like this is also what is creating my living.
Do we get 808s and heartbreaks or My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy if his mom doesn't die? If he's not in that car accident, do we get the same cocky Kanye? Like I think those things that are very traumatic experiences. I said I wasn't going to say his name, and his name just slipped out. But those traumatic experiences add to that person. And the person and character in which he was seemed to mark all of the different instances in his life. So I beat death. So what do I do now? I'm cocky as hell. There's nothing you can tell me. There's nothing you can tell me. I should have died in that car accident. So I'm gonna live it up. Then I lose the person who's closest to me. So now my music starts to become introspective. And then now I have a family. And then now I start so it seemed, but then again, a lot of times with people like that is they get that status, but then they don't always deal with themselves, which I think leads to a lot of mental.
To lose a sense of reality. Sometimes.
You do, because how can you live in reality if you got people climbing over your back fence to take pictures of you and your family? I mean, it definitely makes things not feel real.
I don't know,
because you can't be normal. But as an actor, I don't think you have to be, because I think there are actors who just had it. There are actors who went to school and learned it. I think to me, it's just about, do you get the opportunity to have the right director and the right script? It's the same thing as like a basketball player. Everybody in the NBA is great. Mm-hmm. This is the top 1% of the world. But it's also the only industry where when you're the best in the world, you have the possibility of going to one of the worst organizations. Mm-hmm. If I'm the best neurosurgeon in the world, mm-hmm. I'm going to be at a top hospital. Mm-hmm. If I'm a great litigator, I'm going to be at a top firm. Mm-hmm. If I'm the best basketball player, I'm going to the worst team.
That's crazy.
And what might happen is I might not get put in the best position to thrive. And in the same thing with actors, sometimes they just need the right person to write them the right script, and then boom. Now, some of them, and I think this is what
separates
people rise to the top, is that they just knock everything out. But for a good amount of people, it's just, to me, about getting the right script, getting hot, being relevant, not doing anything stupid to mess it up.
Boy, would that be hard.
And being a person that the industry loves.
Right.
Because that's another. There's a whole thing about politics, and once you're out, and it's hard to get back in because then nobody wants to touch you.
Duh.
Which is even harder for us because it's not that many of us.
Not that many, like, as far as like black actors and.
Yeah, so then you really can't ruin your shot,
bruh.
Because it ain't even that many roles. Now here's the thing, and I'm gonna pose this question to you. I don't really want to get into it because I want to rap soon, but I want you to chew on this.
Don't tell me you want me to.
No, I want you to chew.
No,
I really want you to, because I'm still chewing on this, and I'm still digging into this. But shout out to my guy Cam Archer, who asked me this question.
What happened?
Did the token black sidekick become the token black star? What I mean by that is, in past movies, you had to have that token black character. He was never the star. Mm-hmm. He didn't have the same amount of screen time, but you had to have the black guy in there for color. Mm-hmm. And he had to be the comic relief, or he had to be the athlete, or he had to be whatever token character we are to support the main actors. Mm-hmm. But then you fast forward to a movie like Star Wars, where John Boyega plays a character like Finn, who in the first movie has more screen time than anybody else. He is pushed as the star of the movie. The movie literally opens with him and it closes with him. He is a big character throughout the whole film. It's all about this stormtrooper who decides that he doesn't want to kill people anymore and he wants to defect. It's about him.
Right. But
as you go through all the films, of all the stars, he gets the least amount of character development. He gets the weakest arc.
Would you believe me if I told you I never watched Star Wars either?
No, I don't. I believe you. I 100% believe you. I would 100% believe that.
I need to, though.
But what I'm saying is, if you look at his character, I forget. I can't forget. I can't remember the name of the woman who played Rey, and then you had Kylo Ren, who was played by. Is his name Aaron Driver? Driver is his last name, but
What movie is this?
This is in Star Wars.
Oh, Star Wars. Okay.
But he was in Marriage Story. He was in Black Klansman. He was the partner. But he played Kylo. So they were like the top 3 characters in the movies. And then you can throw in the guy who played. There's another guy. His name was Poe. And it was kind of like them 4. But of them 4, Finn, the only black character, had the weakest arc and the least amount of character development. But he was dubbed as a star. So what I'm saying is now, are they giving us now starring this person, but their character is really just a weak character? Not weak as in they're a pushover, but weak as in...
This is like in not just black movies, but
well, we were seeing now that black people are starting to get more leading roles.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But are those leading roles just here, take it?
No, I don't think so. I think quite the contrary, actually. Like, even with, what was it, like How to Get Away with Murder?
But that was written by a black person.
Oh, well, yeah.
The movies that we're writing, it's us.
Okay.
But Star Wars is that's a white franchise.
I might have to sit with that question. Well,
that's why I said
you want me to chew.
That's
on
why
it.
I said chew on it.
Well, I'm not chewing on it.
That's why I said chew on
it. I want you to chew on it. I'm gonna sit on that one. I haven't really thought too much about that.
Okay, so let's close with this.
Kevin Hart is like Kevin Hart. Never mind.
We didn't even talk about like the comedic black actors or anything like that. Like Kevin Hart.
When is Kevin Hart going to play a serious role, man?
I don't know.
Something that challenges.
But we can't close this discussion without giving The Rock his flowers as well.
Why are we giving The Rock this?
Shout out to him because he's grinding. He's doing. He may not be making the movies that we like, but one thing that you're not gonna hear me really ever doing is dissing black creatives. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna root for you, even if I'm not feeling what you're doing.
You be on Twitter.
who do I be dissing though?
People.
Who though?
All the time.
Who though? It's never black creatives.
Who would you call a bum recently?
It might be basketball players. Oh, cause you're an athlete. That's different. I'm talking about black creatives. You hardly ever see me saying like that's a terrible movie or this guy sucks. Whenever I'm reviewing movies, I'm usually more positive about it. Dig it up. Yeah. Find the receipts.
You go ahead and talk.
Find the receipts.
I'm gonna find it for you right now.
Cause I know I'm in that industry now, and I know how hard it is to do that. And I'm also not trying to burn any bridges because I might need them people. I might need these people. I might need these creatives. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson is doing the damn thing.
I'm trying to find it right now.
Find it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna sit on it, but don't worry.
They don't exist.
I'm gonna send you a text after.
They don't exist.
All right, maybe I can't find it right now. But
see,
but
because I'm hesitant
in my Dwayne Johnson
in my dissing of black creatives because I know because I'm always gonna support you even if I don't think that what you did was that good. I'm not saying that. Like for instance, Black Panther is not the best of the Marvel movies. Mm-hmm. But in front of the white people, it is.
Yeah, they love that shit.
In front of them, that's the best movie ever. We can have an internal discussion about where the plot holes are, or where I have questions about the script or the acting or whatever. But I'm gonna have that in house, in front of the world. That's the best movie. That's the best black movie in the world.
It's like when white people watch Straight Outta Compton, and next thing you know, they going over there. They going to Compton and they treating it like a dev.
Or they don't go to Compton because they feel like this is their way to experience Compton. It's through the music or through the movie.
No, look.
No, I know they have been. Have you
Instagram.
been? Did you ever see what happened after Joker came out? So there's that famous scene, them and then the people there was like, nah, get out of here, like you're not about to come and just profit off of us. This is our block. And you think just because they made a movie here that all of a sudden you can come around bugging?
Nah, son. Hey,
nah, son.
Nah, kid.
Nah,
hey,
nah, B.
It's skedaddle. Hey, tell somebody to skedaddle.
Hey, shout out to my guy Curtis, because I got a friend Curtis. I used to work with him. He's from Brooklyn, and I used to tell him, man, the Brooklyn like dialect next to Oakland dialect is undefeated. Yo, man, son, man, it's a brick. It's a brick out here. He said that word. Yo, man, it's a brick out here. What? I don't know. A brick mean it's cold. Then just say it's cold.
Right.
Nah, man, it's a brick out here, man.
What up, God? Shut up.
Shout out to the East Coast, man. Shout out to New York. I know a lot of people from New York, man.
Oh my God, man.
Okay, let's close with this.
Okay.
What is your prognosis for the future of black films?
Oh man, I think we on a good pace right now. The best pace we probably ever been on a mainstream level, and the way things have been going outside of even just film, with just black awareness as a whole.
Yeah.
I think our trajectory is pretty high.
I think what had already happened in the music industry is happening a little more slowly in the film industry. Is that in the music industry, guys started to figure out, and it's funny, we were even talking about the thing that Joe Budden is trying to do is, if I know that I'm the one that brings the energy, I'm the one that brings the story, I'm the one that brings the creativity, why am I depending on them, the suits in the office, to dictate what goes out or not?
Right.
And now it's gotten to a point that right now, literally right now, because we have microphones and I have a laptop in my computer over there, me and Mike could record an album right now and it could be up tonight.
At any point in time.
It could be up tonight and it could hit.
We've eliminated the middleman.
And
technology has eliminated the middleman.
That's where I was going to get to.
Yeah.
So I'm recording this on cameras that we would have never been able to afford 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But now this equipment is a lot more affordable. Everybody's got one of these.
As long as you got this, you can.
You have a camera in your pocket.
You can record an album with this. You can record a movie.
Now it's
with
a
this.
little bit harder because when it comes to things like distribution and sometimes just the ability to create a quality film, it still requires the team effort. It still, in a way, requires bureaucracy.
Right.
But it is getting to the point where now guys like Tyler Perry, who just said, the hell with your table, I'm going to build my own.
Hey, shout out Tyler Perry, man. That's major, though.
Why am I waiting for you guys to let me shoot?
And a lot of people, even the direction to, that's how you can tell that eliminating that middleman is now everybody will come to Hollywood to record movies.
I got my own damn studio.
You got a whole studio in Atlanta. So now you don't have to, everybody doesn't have to move to LA to be in quote unquote Hollywood.
And there's already tax incentives in Atlanta, and they're starting to do it. They want to do more in LA because they want to get the film industry back going with COVID. But in Atlanta, there's always been tax incentives for production companies to come and film movies there. And it's another one of those areas in the country where you can mimic a lot of worlds.
Yeah.
Because Atlanta, shout out to Atlanta. I've been to Atlanta once and I want to go back. But Atlanta, no lie, you can be in a cityscape literally in 1 minute. And you can be in what looks like a forest in the next.
Backwoods.
And these things are a few miles apart.
Yeah.
So you can.
That's dope, though.
So you can shoot a jungle scene for Black Panther. You can shoot it in Atlanta.
That's hard.
You can go to a swamp area and shoot a swamp scene. You can shoot a city scene. You can shoot a neighborhood scene, and they got a lot of that there. So yeah, shout out to. But yeah,
I think Black people are just starting. Well, we've been started, but I think that the world is really starting to take notice and giving us our due credit on a lot of the artistic expressions that we have. Much like you were saying with Joe Budden and what he was saying about now the creatives being the controllers now. The creatives need to be the executives.
I think that comes because we're starting to understand that we really drive
all of this.
We drive almost everything artistic. Now, when it comes to fashion, there's a big amount of the European.
We drive that too. They take ideas from us.
We drive it in that we're the ones that wear it and make it a thing to wear. Like
think about that.
Remember when you can go to Target or Walmart and get a Champion sweatsuit for $20? Sweatsuit, the top and bottom for like $20.
They're reselling.
Kanye wears it one time and now they're like $80-$90 for a sweater.
It's crazy.
We push it. We wear a pair of shoes. Look at those shoes.
We have a lot of power, man.
And I think we're understanding that we can do that.
And it's the perfect timing because of the age we're in. We're in the technology, information, digital age. where literally, like I said, once you take that middleman, that gatekeeper out, like, I mean, it's still gatekeepers. Don't get me wrong. Of
course.
It's still, like we still have the industries of people being blackballed, but
There's still red tape.
right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, more than ever, we have the
It's a little bit easier.
to really, really, really push things even further than it's ever been. And that's my take on that.
And this is the world in which I'm trying to force myself in.
I'm trying to thrust yourself in.
I'm sorry. I don't know about all that. But where I am is tied. I'm doing the tug of war in preparing as much as I can. So if one of them gives me the shot, I can take advantage of it. But I'm also assuming that them will never give me the shot. So I'll blaze my own damn trail.
Well, we don't need them. We never really did.
So
you know what I mean? So,
and I'm hoping that more people do like what Tyler Perry did. I mean, we can get into his movies and how good they are, but those movies provided him a platform for black creatives. And I'm not going to get into and I'll shut it down with this. I'm not going to get into what black people need to do.
Yeah.
But everybody else is doing it.
What?
They're setting up the table for their own.
Oh yeah. I mean, everybody been doing it, except for us.
One of the legends in the game, William Wilder. I believe he did like Ben-Hur, like some of the classics, some of the classic films. Guess whose uncle was? His uncle was the owner of Universal. Don't get me wrong. Again, this goes to the same conversation about Coogler and Singleton. There's nothing wrong with getting a boost. But how often are we trying to give our own because they're giving their own the boost. So while we're just trying to be crabs in the barrel and saying, forget you, I don't have to help you out, they're helping their guys out.
Yeah.
So when are we going to start helping our people out? Not just trying to create our own thing, but creating a system to where other black folks can thrive. So that we can hear more stories about black men and black women.
It's happening right before our eyes, man.
That's my damn spiel.
My damn spiel.
This has been Mike Sessions.
Yes.
I often go by Antonio. I'm out. We're out.
We are out.
I don't know how to close with two people.
Hey man, it's been great. I appreciate you. You know what I mean?
All love. COVID bump. We're not 6 feet apart, but whatever. Just don't tell Gavin.
Bust in his garage. Gavin start kicking the police. Gavin start kicking the door.
Y'all not 6 feet apart in there?
Yeah. Hey, Gavin kicking the door in is hilarious. I felt a little body heat.
Top of my game and I'm steady rising. I would do nothing to jeopardize it. Fuck it, it's time that we enterprise it. Dangerous times, nigga, we survived it. So if I'm inside, gotta suicide it. From back when I felt I was suicidal. Brought my glow back, this is the revival. I keep it real, nothing figurative. We bumping the night where the creatures live. Trying to keep up with me, Vita, Khadijah, and Cody. My show got